Welcome back to another edition of Strengthening Oklahoma. This edition of Strengthening Oklahoma is brought to you by The Garage. Visit eatatthegarage.com to find a location near you and order online from the garage in your neighborhood. 27-13, Sooners win in Ames, 2 straight for Oklahoma, and a key piece of that victory, wide receiver Jalil Farooq. Jalil, congrats on the win, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, and I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely, man. Man, talk to us about it. Not an easy place to play, typically a hostile environment. That's a really good defense you guys went up against. And I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, but especially you individually, you're able to have your best game of the season so far.
Yes,
How
sir.
important for this season was it to go on the road and get that win?
We knew what we was getting into. It was going to be a tough win from the jump. We was playing against a pretty good defense. So we knew we had to come, make plays, win a 50-50. We took advantage of some opportunities, missed a lot, but we left a lot out there. But every win is a good win, so it doesn't matter as long as you get it done. So I just took advantage of my opportunities, got the dub, felt good about it. So
every win is a good win. No truer words have ever been spoken about the game of football. Now, we'll talk about the touchdown, right? And that was a huge play in that game. But I want to talk about that first catch that you had.
Yes,
How's the back, man? I mean, the flexibility to go up and get that. It looked like that dude was going to snap you in half. That couldn't have felt good, man.
Nah, it didn't. It didn't feel good at all, actually. But I was just trying to focus on coming down with the ball. It hurt, but I really just got the wind knocked out of me. So I was just focused on trying to catch my breath. But it felt good to come down with it. That's all I know. So first down on the play, that's all that mattered.
Climb the ladder, strong hands, fight through the contact. It was really impressive. Does a play like that kind of get you going? Does that give you like confidence and making a play like that just has to kind of change your outlook, your mindset for the rest of the ball game, I would think.
It definitely does, especially coming on to the sideline, people telling you how good of a catcher was. It's definitely a confident booster in the game. Makes me feel like I'm finna have a day. So it came true. I definitely had a day Saturday.
I was just glad that you got up, man. I was just like, oh, please be okay.
I wish I wouldn't have showed as much weakness as I did when I was on the ground for too long. I should have got up quicker. But
listen, don't be too hard on yourself, man. That looked like it felt awful. I mean, I was on the sideline going, Now, when you play against Iowa State, right, their whole thing defensively is limiting the big play in the passing game. So how surprised were you that they cut you loose on the touchdown? I mean, you're uncovered. Like, what's the reaction when that's happening where you're like, oh, my gosh, no one's covering me?
I thought something happened in the play, maybe a penalty or something. I got too happy. I was kind of confused. The safety, I thought it was a man coverage. The safety broke down flat. I don't know for what reason, but in my eyes, I seen the busted coverage, so I took it high and took advantage of my opportunity and just went to go score.
So walk us through that play. It's 3rd and 11, crucial juncture in the game. You guys need a play, and a first down would have been great, but you take it the distance. If you could, walk us and the listeners through what's the route concept. You kind of just told us the breakdown they had in coverage, but from your vantage point, what's your responsibility on that play, and ultimately, why was it so successful?
Yeah, my responsibility on that play is to come over. I'm motion over. It's supposed to be a deep cross. It's supposed to be a deep crossing route. If they're in man coverage, I'm supposed to break flat. So I'm the first read. The goal is to get the first down. So in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm going to break across his face. I'm going to break flat, catch the ball, get the first down, and try to break after that. My first goal was to get the first down, but as soon as I seen him break down, I seen him come down, my only option was to take it high. So I was just glad Dylan found me. The O-line holded it down in the pocket, so it couldn't be better for me. So
yeah, it was a nice complete football play. Right, yeah. You're talking about what you did. Both tackles run the defensive ends behind the quarterback. Dylan steps up, delivers a nice football. It was a beautifully executed play.
It was.
So clearly at wide receiver, you're focused on running your routes, catching the ball, blocking and run game, all that stuff. But a new wrinkle has emerged for you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
You're playing some, let's just call it, you're playing some running back at times, and they're snapping the ball to you with some of the direct snaps up. Like, how much fun is that for you, man?
I did a lot of that in high school, so it's definitely a lot of fun. Just trying to get me more involved in the game. It's definitely it's like I don't really know how to explain it. It's a great feeling to be out there, just doing everything I can to help the team. Being in the position, make plays, just trying to be a playmaker and change the game.
It's the Jalil Cat. That's what I'm going to call it. Instead of the Wildcat, it's going to be the Jalil Cat.
Let's let him name it, maybe. Like, I feel like we can come up with something cooler than the Jalil Cat.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with Jalil Cat? You don't like that?
Like, something shorter, like the J Cat. Like, it's something. Can we get some? Okay. I don't know. I feel like we could do better.
I just like how Coach Levy is finding ways to get his playmakers touches, and you clearly are a guy. You've shown you can go up and get it, but man, when you got the ball in your hands, you're dangerous. Your build, your size, and I think it's a nice wrinkle that we're seeing. And Eric Gray, man, this guy's on a heater. Another 100-yard day, 5th 100-yard output of the season. He got a little banged up late, but I think he's going to be just fine. Talk about what Eric Gray running the football has meant to this offense and this team, especially the last 2 games.
It's meant a lot. Getting downfield, him just making people miss consistently. He always wins his one-on-one, so that's what makes him a complete back. He gets in the second level. It's always one person that's going to miss him. He's always going to make a person miss. He just so agile. I've never seen a guy so shifty as him at running back. So it's great playing with a guy like him.
I haven't seen a guy as shifty as him at running back, except for you. Let's go. Now, no, and this may be a dumb question, but it's been a long time since I carried the football. How do you work on, so now that you're getting some of those touches in different ways, like, do you work on different moves with the ball in your hand during practice? Like, how do you work on, basically simulating being a running back and trying to make guys miss this late in the season in practice, if that makes sense?
Just focusing on my vision when I'm back there, trying to make the blocks right, setting up the blocks and everything. That's my biggest focus in practice when I'm running the ball. I feel like it's the same as a receiver. You catch the ball, I feel like you got to turn it to a running back. So the goal is to score. So if I get to the second level, it's time for me to make somebody miss, just like Eric Gray does. So just making my blockers right. Reading the block correctly. That's what I focus on mainly in practice, and making one person miss every time.
How about what I thought was, there's a couple of key plays. Your touchdown was a key play. Danny Stutzman, his interception was a key play, but the fake field goal. I was watching that play. I was in Lincoln, Nebraska, getting ready to do my game, and it was right before I went to the stadium, and that got a yell and a fist pump out of me. Man. Executed flawlessly. I mean, maybe the kicker needs to start playing a little bit more running back.
Man, but I swear, you read that perfectly.
How? Give me a sense of on the sidelines when you guys convert and hit on that fake field goal for a touchdown. What was the emotion like on the side?
I just know for me personally, I didn't see that coming. I thought we were gonna get a quick 3 points. So I look up at the TV. I'm sitting down, look up at the TV, and all I see is the fake, and I just jumped for joy. I couldn't even believe it. The whole sideline was just super excited for Zach in that moment right there. So we all cheered for him, ran on the field, jumped for joy. It was a good feeling.
Yeah, it was a big play, and everyone on the sideline was surprised, right? Because really only the guys on the field goal unit knew that they were going to run it, because they had to get a certain look and for them to make the call that they were going to run the certain fake out there on the field. So everyone was caught off guard. It was a lot of fun over there on the sideline. So this is, Marvin didn't have a good day, right? Yeah. And everyone that's played at a high level, we've all had those days. Mm-hmm. When one of the guys in your room doesn't have the type of game they want. Like, how do you handle that? Right. Especially with a guy like Marvin, who's, he's one of the best players on the team. Do you just leave him alone, or are you talking to him? Like, how do you handle that personally?
I know I try to talk to him, just not too much, in that moment. A lot of people don't want to be talked to. So I just try to give him his space, but give him, when he's about to go back in the game, try to give him a little motivational talk. Like, let it go. One play shouldn't change the whole game, things like that. Just trying to motivate him. Get them back going. Everybody needs that at some point. Sometimes when they made a mistake, sometimes people do well on it. My biggest goal in the receiving room, we just try to motivate each other, make sure we make the next play. We get another 50-50. Let's take advantage of that opportunity. Just respond. That's the biggest thing in the receiving room is it's not the exact play, but it's how you respond. That makes you better as a man. So that's what we try.
Great, solid advice, and I would fully expect, knowing Marvin, he's going to respond in a good way. Last question for me on Iowa State. The struggles have been real for the defense. There hasn't been any dissension amongst the offense and the defense, but clearly you guys can look over and know they haven't played to the standard they want to. Well, they stepped up and they played their tails off, held Iowa State to 66 yards on the ground, 3 takeaways in that football game. How nice was it to see that type of performance from the defense in Ames?
It wasn't a high-scoring game at all. Just a true game to show you that defense wins games. And our defense took advantage of that, and we had a better defense that day.
Yeah, it was nice to see them play well. I know that. So it's early in the week. Right. It's Monday. You guys are still, correcting some of the mistakes from the Iowa State game, but you're starting to look forward to Baylor. With what you've been able to see so far, what kind of stands out to you about that Baylor defense that y'all are going to go up against?
Pretty good, decent defense. I just feel like we got to do what we did again, just take advantage of the 50-50s, be good at perimeter, make the perimeter blocks in the receiver room. Win the one-on-ones, touch game, getting more at 8 yards a catch, just getting the extra yards, getting that extra yard every play, get that run game going, and I feel like we'll take the win.
That secondary, they got a big physical front, but they also in the secondary really goes back to since Dave Arand has been there. They play a physical brand of football. Does that make you guys, whether it's in the run game, when you're blocking on the edges, whatever it may be, come into this game, recognize that and try to match that physicality?
Yeah, we got to come in with that intensity, setting blocks, getting knockdowns on the perimeter, not just the front. We got to make sure we're doing our job in the perimeter, making sure we're doing our job. Like we're taking advantage of every opportunity, even the little things, just blocking. So, just making sure everything is straight, doing our job.
I don't know if you do this, but you may want to take a look at the old weather forecast for this weekend, because it looks like there could be a little mini monsoon heading our way that's supposed to be here Friday and Saturday. I played center, dude. I hated when it rained during a game. So I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say you're not a huge fan of playing in the rain either.
I'm not a huge fan of the rain because gloves don't really work as good in the rain, so I'll have to go no gloves. Still got to make the same plays, but I don't think no receiver's a big fan of the rain at all. Just a known fact.
No doubt. Big guys like me, I didn't mind the rain much at all. I didn't have to handle the football. So for me, I just knew ball might be slick, ball might be on the ground, works fine for me. And obviously, Gabe, you're a center, so you didn't like that, but I was trying to disrupt centers like yourself. So for me, it was like, bring on the rain. But I can understand you offensive guys. You're made of sugar. You definitely potentially know.
Okay, here we go.
It's okay. It is what it is. All right, let's get to some fan questions. It is Halloween, so maybe a little Halloween theme fan questions. And our fan questions always brought to you by Love's Travel Stops. Visit loves.com for more information on the nation's leading travel stop network that's headquartered right here in the great state of Oklahoma. Sean H., what is Halloween like for a college football player, Jalil?
I didn't really celebrate Halloween as much this year, but I know a lot of my friends, they usually go to the corner, celebrate, and just have fun, dress up as costumes, a lot of costume parties going on. Just going out, celebrating, especially when you have a win, celebrate with your friends, just enjoy yourself. It's just fun out there, just having fun.
The college Halloween after a win combination is strong.
Yeah.
Strong. That's the best way to put it, for the guys on the team. We'll leave it at that. We will leave it at that. Okay, this last question for you, Jalil. It comes from Mark L. He asks, in honor of Halloween, what's your favorite scary movie?
I have to say, I was a big fan of like Scream, like growing up. I was a big fan of that. That was probably some of my favorite scary movies.
I get down with some Scream.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of Scream back in the day.
I went down, but I know back in the day that was some of my favorite. I used to watch every single one, so I can't pass that up.
Scary movies, man, like the real scary ones, like the ones that, like, I don't know, the supernatural stuff, man. I don't know. I
don't like horror movies. I can't do that.
I'm with you, man. Like, I don't get that sensation of wanting to be just terrified. Like, I want to smile and laugh. Suspense is great.
I'm more of the realistic, scary things, like like Scream, Jason, stuff like that. I'm not really like in that stage, the other scary stuff.
So, short little story here for you guys. Okay. Paranormal Activity came out my freshman year in college, and we were living, the Bud got knocked down, but we were all living in the Bud. About like 6 or 7 of us went and saw that movie, and we all slept in the same dorm room that night. And it was the weirdest thing. We walked in from the movie, and there was this long hall, like you had to key card in, and there was this long hall before you got to the stairs. We key card in. There's this random black cat sitting at the end of the hallway, and we all were like, "Oh hell no, nope." So we all. It's not like we were cuddling each other, but we were. It was strength in numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would probably do the same thing.
My sophomore year, we played in the Rose Bowl, and we went and watched The Ring as a team. That movie scared the hell out of me. And I remember Andre Woolfolk was a first-round pick at corner. He was sitting by me. I swear he jumped at one point. And I mean, I was like, get me out of this theater as soon as you possibly can. Like, have you seen The Ring? Like the TV goes to like snow and was like, shh. Man, I did not enjoy that very much at all. But I hope you enjoy your Halloween. Last one. Candy, favorite Halloween candy. Got to give us something.
This is the right. What's the name of it? I like white Kit Kats, white chocolate. Okay. I'm trying to the other one. It's not Reese's, but it's like a it's like a chocolate got like squares.
Chocolate and it's got squares. I don't know. You're talking to a Kit Kat?
Nah, not a Kit Kat.
You already said Kit Kat. Chocolate and has squares.
Yeah.
You're talking to a couple of fat kids here, so we should definitely know this between the two of us, Gabe.
I mean, that's like every candy, Jalil. Chocolate with squares. I mean, just let's be real.
Probably like 12 squares.
I got nothing. It will remain a mystery.
You have stumped the fat kids. But I'm going to tell you what.
It's like the crackle one. What's it called?
You talking about Hershey's chocolate bar?
No.
Mystery bar?
Yeah, it is Hershey's. It is Hershey's. It's the white Hershey's.
The cookies and cream?
The cookies and cream Hershey's.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, we were able to narrow it down. We can get it collectively. There is not a candy that Gabe Ikard and myself cannot figure out. Just give us some time, and we'll be able to conquer that mountain. Just like you guys were able to get a second win. Best of luck this week, man. Hope you guys have a great week of preparation, and you got a little momentum going. Keep it rolling this week with Baylor coming to town. As always, Jalil, we appreciate the time today.
I appreciate you.
Our big thanks to Jalil Farooq for joining us. And now it's time for me and my man Gabe to break it down. The Breakdown brought to you by the Oklahoma Proton Center. It's one of the top cancer centers in the region using state-of-the-art proton therapy. Oklahoma Proton Center, more than a cure, quality of life. 27-13. I thought it was a very well-rounded, really quality win on the road in Ames, Iowa. Was it perfect? No. But, man, when you go into that stadium, a team that hadn't won a conference game, backs against the wall, you knew it was going to be a fight. It was going to be a scrap. There is a reason that it was essentially a pick'em for the Sooners to walk out of there with a 2-touchdown win. The offense made plays when it needed to. The defense stepped up and had one of its best performances of the year, and special teams chipping in with some key plays as well. Like, it just felt like an all-encompassing team victory, and it's exactly what you want to see coming out of the bye.
Yeah, I thought special teams was the difference in the game. And of course, everyone points to the fake field goal for the touchdown for Zach Schmidt, and that was a huge, surprising moment in that football game. But Michael Turk had about as big of an impact on a game that a punter can have. I mean, what, a 60-yarder, 61-yarder, a couple of really important punts out of his own end zone, right, where he's just one step in it and just
flipping the field.
Flipping the field and, putting him out around midfield with no return, great hang time. But I thought he had a big impact on the game, and then Schmidt hit his field goals as well. So I thought it was about as complimentary of football as Oklahoma's played all season, where you felt like the offense played pretty well, the defense played pretty well, and special teams were good. So I thought that was extremely encouraging. Would you like to win by a larger margin? Sure, but that's Iowa State's worst loss of the year.
Yep.
I mean, that is a football team that, especially at home, does not lose by that margin very often. So overall, was it perfect? Absolutely not. But it was a good, solid win. It's a step in the right direction.
I thought a couple things stand out. First of all, the fake field goal. I don't think I've seen one run that exact way. Pull, play side guard, get Robert Conjal out. Wing helps as well. And that thing parted like the Red Sea. I don't know if I remember. I'm sure somebody's run it before. But for the holder to flip it up like that, and for Schmidt to stroll in, I mean, it was so well executed and designed. I really compliment whoever implemented that.
Jay Nunez is the one that was, because I talked to Schmidt and Turk after the game for the radio broadcast, and they gave him all the credit, right? Drew it up, and it worked perfectly, man. You got to love it when it works exactly how you draw it up in your head.
Matt Campbell was not happy. Campbell was very, very upset on the opposing sideline. It's funny because the stat line was not stellar for Dillon Gabriel, but I thought he played very well. Like, you and I talked about it last week. Against this defense in the secondary and what they do in this 3-3-5 and a lot of drop 8, you got to be patient. And I thought that Dillon Gabriel, especially the way the game played out, you weren't forced to try to do too much. As long as you played from front, you played with the lead, you didn't have to take any unnecessary chances. And I thought he was very smart with the football. Only the one touchdown, doesn't have 200 yards passing, but still the bigger number to me, no interceptions. And turnovers, you mentioned special teams. Turnovers for me were really the difference in this ball game. And I know Eric put one on the ground, but Dillon taking care of the football and Hunter Decker's not taking care of the football as well. I thought that was a big difference. And look, there should have been more completions. I hate to say it, but Marvin had a bad day. Marvin dropped some passes, 2 first-down catches he should have been able to have. So I know some people may look at that stat line and go, man, Dillon didn't play well. If you just look at the box score and you didn't watch the game, that may be what your takeaway. But if that was what you did, that's on you, because Dillon Gabriel, again, thought he played a really nice, smart, clean football game for Oklahoma.
I completely agree. And not to, pile on Marvin here, but, that first play of the game, it's possible that goes for a touchdown. We're talking a 70-plus yard touchdown. So you talk about Dillon Gabriel's stats. And I thought Marvin on the deep ball, that was Dillon Gabriel's best deep ball of the season. He drops in the bucket.
Perfectly.
I expect Marvin Mims to make that catch for a touchdown.
So does Marvin. I promise.
And so does he, which is why he was so frustrated on the sideline. So you're talking about, 100-plus yards for Dillon Gabriel that are left on the field, and possibly 2 more touchdowns. So I do not think the box score reflects at all how well he played in the game. And I thought some of the moments in this game, like he played some of the best, and this sounds stupid, but he played quarterback at about the highest level we've seen him play it at this year, going through his reads, trusting the pocket, stepping up, right. And just trusting everything. And it was good to see, but really offensively, the key was the way that they ran the ball.
Yep.
Eric Gray, I know he had the fumble, but he continues to be fantastic.
Awesome.
Continues to run with physicality, making people miss, twisting, spinning, trying to get, extra yards at the end of runs. I thought Jeff Levy had a lot of creative stuff in the run game, through all kinds of different stuff at that Iowa State defense. And to rush against 108, or to rush for 182 yards against that defense, that's a hell of an accomplishment. No one should make it sound like it's not. That's really, really good stuff.
And the commitment to the run, right? Yeah. 47 carries to just 26 passes. Eric Gray and Jalil talked about it, like the ability to make the initial defender miss. It's so big. I mean, so oftentimes you can have things, typically when you block something up really well, there's going to be an unblocked player, right? Like you can do everything right as an offensive line. And if the running back can't make a guy miss, it may be a 2-3 yard run. You make that guy miss, it's an 8, it's a 10, it's a bigger chunk run than that. And I think that's what Eric Gray, what he brought to the table coming from Tennessee, and it's what he's doing at such a high level right now. I also like, Dillon on a couple of read zones, big third down, he's able to go get like just enough here and there to keep a defense honest. That helps. But I like the Farooq little package. I like the fact that Freeman's still trying to get him on edges, utilize his speed. Like, it's been some really good creativity. Even the lone touchdown run from Eric, it's a direct snap, right? Dillon motions out, he moves, you slide over, you snap it to the running back, and you're able to hit it downhill with it in Eric's hands right now. So you touched on it, but the creativity from Coach Levy, being able to create good opportunities against a very stout run defense, I thought that was all on display in this game. The defensive side, and we can spend more time on it later in the week as we have some defensive guys. I thought it was huge. Deshaun White, man, he played fast. He flew around. Woody Washington, getting him back to corner was so important in this game. I thought that there was a lot of well-contested footballs, and he tackled well, not just because those guys happen to be with us here at Strengthening Oklahoma. I thought those two guys really stood out.
There's a reason those guys are here with us at Strengthening Oklahoma.
Danny Stutzman's pick, like, that was route recognition. Like, he's reading the quarterback's eyes take him right to where that route's coming. He checks the route, and by the time he looks back, he's in perfect position to make that pick. That was such a massive play in that game. I was really happy for him to be able to create a play like that. But you take the ball away 3 times, and it's going to give you a great opportunity to win. We talked about this last week. Hunter Deckers will throw you the football, and Oklahoma was able to take advantage of that. And they just flat out forced some plays. But I think even more so than that, finally, this run defense stepped up and was able to shut down this Iowa State rushing attack, which they needed to. Iowa State doesn't run the ball well, but Oklahoma has not stopped the run since conference play started. For them to limit them to 66 yards, under 2.5 yards a carry, I thought that was substantial. 8 tackles for loss and a couple of key moments and even some short yardage situations where they came up with stops like that. Being the old nose tackle in me, man, I was happy to see that. And I think that gives them the opportunity to have some confidence moving forward, where defensively stopping the run, it just has not been there the last 4 games.
No, I'm with you. And I thought that, they handled a struggling Iowa State offensive line the way that they should. Yep. Right. I thought Ethan Downs had some really good moments in the game. I thought Jonah Laulu had some really nice moments in the game, starting to come along a little bit at that edge spot. Isaiah Coe had some really nice moments in the game before a bone in his thumb just shot out of his skin, which was something. But
thanks for that.
Overall,
it's
what happened. It's what happened. Overall, a step in the right direction defensively, right? Is it a dominant group right now? No, but I think we all can agree that what we saw on Saturday looked a lot more like an organized and efficient defensive group. Now, and we'll talk about it this week, but that is going to get tested in a big way with Baylor coming to town.
That's right. But they did what they needed to do against an offense that is trying to find its way. They're trying to find their way as a defense. And at least it felt like that process, started to take hold in Ames, Iowa. Much bigger challenge with the Baylor Bears coming to town this week. That'll do it for this episode of Strengthening Oklahoma. Thanks to Muse Growth Strategies for continuing to help us spread the word about what we're doing here at Strengthening Oklahoma. And a reminder to subscribe to the podcast on YouTube and wherever you listen to your various podcasts. Please don't forget, check out our website. It is strengtheningok.com, where you can contribute monetarily. And for all of our contributors, we thank you so much. For all of our subscribers, current, new, man, thanks. You help make this thing go. Supporting our players, supporting our cause is a really big deal to us. We appreciate you. We thank you, and we'll see you again next time right here on Strengthening Oklahoma.